Today we're playing one of my all-time favorite decks in Mono Black Devotion, but now we can just one-shot kill people out of nowhere thanks to Bloodletter of Aclazotz. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron-Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Abrew About Nothing. And we got a super fun deck today. We are playing one of my all-time favorite archetypes, which is Mono Black Devotion, but with a huge and super powerful new twist from Lost Caverns of Ixalan in Bloodletter of Aclazotz, which is a huge deal for this deck. It turns it from like kind of a grindy mid-range deck into this grindy mid-range deck that also has this strange out-of-the-blue one-shot kill combo finish. So let's talk about the deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, and see Bloodletter in action. So you might remember Bloodletter of Aclazotz. We played it in budget standard Mono Black Burn a few weeks ago. It's the 4-drop that makes it so if our opponent would lose life during their turn, they lose twice as much life instead. And while it was really sweet in Black Burn in standard, the first thing I thought when I saw Bloodletter of Aclazotz is this card is going to be absurd in Mono Black Devotion. So why is this card so good for Mono Black Devotion? And the answer is like threefold. First, it's just like a fine creature. Because of the double life loss thing, it's actually kind of a 4/4 flyer for 4. Second, it's got 3 black mana symbols, so it's actually really good at powering up Nykthos. It joins all of our other like heavy black stuff, Gifted Aetherborn, Phyrexian Obliterator, our card draw Warlock class Phyrexian Arena, lots of black mana symbols, our removal, Meathook Massacre, the Murderous Rider, black mana symbols on the battlefield, to just let us flood the board with mana symbols to power up Nykthos so we can dump our hand really quickly. More importantly, all these black mana symbols let us have this ridiculous combo finish with Grey Merchant of Asphodel. So Grey Merchant of Asphodel, when it ETBs, each opponent loses life equal to our Devotion to Black. We gain life equal to life loss this way. So normally Grey Merchant comes down and it like drains our opponent for a bit, maybe 5, maybe 6 or 7, which is nice. Like if we draw 2 or 3 Grey Merchants, we're probably gonna win the game and it stabilizes us. But now thanks to Bloodletter, Grey Merchant's like a one-shot combo kill. Even just Bloodletter of Aclazotz into Grey Merchant of Asphodel hits our opponent for 10. Bloodletter has 3 black mana symbols, Grey Merchant has 2, so that by itself is 5 Devotion, so 5 drain from Grey Merchant, but doubled up by Bloodletter, so we actually drain our opponent for 10 and gain a ridiculous amount of life. This also means if we can just stick a Gifted Aetherborn and a Murderous Rider, or Phyrexian Obliterator, like not that many additional black mana symbols, a single Grey Merchant with Bloodletter out just drains our opponent for the full 20. So now we can still win like a grindy mid-range deck where we're kind of like killing your stuff, drawing some cards, wiping away the board, chipping in for some damage, but now we're also have this combo finish where sometimes we just like turbo out some black mana symbols, stick a Nykthos or 2, and just dump Bloodletter into Grey Merchant, and the game ends on like turn 5 out of the blue, nothing our opponent can do about it. The rest of the deck, we do have a bunch of removal and interaction. We want as many black mana symbols as possible, but stuff like Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, Go for the Throat, Bitter Triumph, Bloodchief's Thirst, just too good and important to pass up, so we do have a few spells in the deck. The mana base, we've talked about Nykthos, also 4 Castle Lockwains to draw even more cards, Hive of the Eye Tyrant is a creature land in the sideboard, a bunch of removal for creature decks, some discard in Planeswalkers and Thought Distortion to get the control decks, Leyline of the Void if we weren't into Grease Frang or other graveyard decks, and that is Bloodletter Black Devotion for Historic. That's our deck for today, so let's jump into some games and see just how absurd our new Lost Caverns of Ixalan Mythic actually is with Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy the gameplay, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/MTGGoldfish. We've got new tokens and playmats, and you can even get the tokens signed if you want. Check them all out over at MTGGoldfishmerch.com. It is Bloodletter Devotion time. We are trying to find out just how absurd Bloodletter of Aclazotz is with a Grey Merchant. And this hand's fine. We got some card draw, got some removal. Ooh, opponent, top 1,000. Bring it, Karuga. Just, oh, okay. I'm glad we're playing this. So this is the new hotness everyone's so scared about. The new Discover combo deck. I honestly think the deck's not that good. Like, I know it'll win some games. It can do scary things. We just played Quintoria's combo last week for Against the Odds, and it can certainly combo off and do, like, bonkers stuff. But watch what happens if you just leave up removal. Our plan for this match is simple. Elemental Masterpiece, sure. Yeah, I'll make that token. What if we just leave up removal? Opponent, Discovery, Dispersal. What do you think will happen? My impression of this deck is if we just always leave up removal, we are going to beat it very easily, but we'll see. Maybe I could be wrong. Let's play a Swamp. We already got a Castle Lockwayne. The downside is leaving up removal does mean we're not going to be flooding the board as quickly as we'd like. Like, we can't slam this Obliterator or whatever because we need to leave up the Murderous Rider. Is it combo time? Is it time for the combo? Cavern of Souls. Geological Appraiser. Well, we can't counter it. So Geological Appraiser, going to spin into a clone, I presume. Glasspool Mimic. Aw. Well, with Glasspool on the stack, I think we might put a Swift End to this Appraiser. And a little fizzling. Whew. All right. The bad news is we do not currently have a removal spell. Hopefully this Warlock class finds it, because if they can just do it again next turn. Oh, as much as we're a Grey Merchant deck, because we're playing this silly Discover combo deck, we got to take the removal spell. We could try to Thoughtseize, but what if they have like double combo piece in hand? So we'll just take the go for the throat, play the land, hit you for 2. Next turn we can actually play the Obliterator if we want to. Do you have 2 combo pieces? Are we going again? Are we going again? All right, Discovery. Gonna go digging for a combo piece. I do like the Cavern. Cavern is nice. Doesn't work with the Quintorius combo. I actually think Quintorius combo is probably better than the creature. I don't know. I like Quintorius combo better than the Geological Appraiser combo, but Quintorius a little harder to kill. A little more expensive, though. Well, let's Warlock class. Go digging. Here we actually would like a Thoughtseize. That Thoughtseize we dumped last turn, we would take it now. That would be very nice. If we get Thoughtseize and also leave up go for the third, we basically just want all the interaction possible. We're making all the unfun choices, but Gifted Aetherborn, I think, is correct, because now we can attack. We can play the Gifted Aetherborn. All right, wow, Carnosaur. Opponent didn't run it out. Instead, they decided to use this removal. Interesting. Well, they get pinged a little bit. Taking the Aetherborn there lets us add a creature to the battlefield, basically. That's the upside of doing that over Gary or something. All right, there's the Carnosaur. The opponent. We're gonna spin? We're gonna do a little discovering? What are we gonna discover? A Glasspool Mimic. Imagine that. Gonna go for that trumpeting Carnosaur's throat. Aww, and the fizzle. And opponent scoops it up. See, I think that's like what you do against this deck. Like, just, don't tap out. Don't get greedy. Like, we could have played Grey Merchants. We could have played Obliterators. Don't do it, because if you do it once, you think, oh, I'll be okay. I can sneak it in this turn. No, don't. Like, you're gonna get punished for it. But if you just always leave up the interactive spell, the Discover combo decks get much, much worse. The same is true of Quintorius combo. If you always leave up the Negate or Dovin's Veto or whatever, Get Lost, it can kill a Planeswalker. If you just always leave that up, it becomes very difficult for those decks to win, and that's what we kind of saw there. Just like, always leave up the interaction, make sure you can kill the thing at instant speed, and the Discover plan is, I see it as kind of a glass cannon. I've seen some people disagree. They think it's more resilient than that. I think it's basically it reminds me the most. I've been thinking about this. What does it remind me of? It reminds me the most maybe of like Garuda combo, if that makes sense, where you like try to play the Garuda and then the Garuda hits a clone and it copies Garuda and it hits a clone and it copies Garuda and you just keep doing that. It kind of reminds me of that. It's kind of like Garuda combo. And there were times when Garuda combo was very good. Like Garuda combo won tournaments. It was a real deck. Not enough lands to cast our removal, but it ended up being pretty glass cannon-y, especially after the Companion Errata. Well, I guess we should play that first, but that's fine. About it. Playing their lands. Well, Hive of the Eye Tyrant, go. They could get us right here. If they Geological Appraise right here, they could be fast in a pool. All right, just a Karuga. The awkward part about this hand, and the reason I think that the Discover combo deck might actually, even if it's not that busted and it's very beatable, might be a bad thing for the format, is it is kind of a removal check deck. Like you can see here, we're a mono black deck with a lot of removal, and we just don't have the removal of this game. So if our opponent has the combo, they do get us. Like, we can't stop them, but thankfully it appears that our opponent does not have the combo. We will keep Lilianaing away things. Yeah, let's just pitch the Phyrexian. I think we're on the just like the super fair Bloodletter Gary plan. Like, I think that's what we're going for. Opponent Magma, but sure. And. All right, gonna kill the Lily and go digging. We're gonna cast a Lockwing. We really want to hit a removal spell. That's why we didn't play the Bloodletter last turn. It's not lethal anyway. With the Gray Merchant, we don't have enough pips, and we really just want to hit a removal spell. Well, play the land, run out the Gifted Aetherborn, pass the turn. We are in a precarious position here if our opponent finds a combo piece. Wow, opponent Karuga does not find a combo piece. Thoughtseize isn't bad. So I guess we play the land. I mean, I guess we just Bloodletter Thoughtseize. I guess we tap this Nykthos. So run out the Bloodletter, go attacking. If you want to trade, that's fine. Wow, all right, opponent does not trade. Well, Thoughtseize ya. Chandra and Appraiser. Well, we'll take the Appraiser. Chandra doesn't beat us right now. All right, we'll take the Appraiser. And all right, opponent, I think you're dead. Chandra. Okay, kills the Bloodletter, plays a land, gets in, hits us. So they're not, oh, wait, are they literally dead? Oh, we still need one more turn, don't we? I mean, this is fine, So we can run out second Bloodletter. That was a good draw. This does give our opponent one more turn to find their combo. Bloodletter number 2, get rid of the Chandra. And basically say, can you kill us? Because if not, we're about to drop this Gary, and Gary is going to make you die. Opponent hits us down to 8. Oh, don't kill the Bloodletter. Just accept. Just accept your fate. Opponent, ooh, passes. Okay. Well, Warlock class. And I mean, I guess we can level it up because we could hit like a Thoughtseize. If we hit a Thoughtseize, we can make, I mean, I don't think they can interact, but we'll see. Okay, they're gonna bedazzle the Nykthos. So in response, well, now we know we win. We got the bedazzle out of our opponent's hand. So we make the mana. I guess another Gary, not that it matters. And Gray Merchant of Asphodel hit you for just a little off the top. Well, that's a Discover combo deck. But more importantly, that's Mono Black Devotion with Bloodletter, and it's pretty sweet. Bloodletter into Gray Merchant, a thing of beauty. Up against Yarion, eh? Well, we're gonna mulligan. Against a Yarion deck, this actually isn't horrible. I do like having double Thoughtseize. I imagine they're like Enigmatic Incarnation or some sort of control pile. Yeah, we'll just put the removal spell to the bottom. Let's just play the Hive and Thoughtseize you. Oh dear. Well, we'll take a Skyclave, but mistakes may have been made. Oh, okay, so opponent's actually like Death and Taxes Yarion? I kind of wish we had kept that removal spell now. That's a bit of an issue. Well, Thoughtseize. Take the Skyclave. I mean, opponent doesn't have any threats. We can get down the arena. Ugh, well, that is another threat. Yeah, we might actually just be dying. Are we gonna die with, oh, Archon. Yeah, we should have played the swamp and got down the arena. Actually, I don't know if it, well, all right, play the arena. With this Faceless Haven, that was definitely a punt, but I don't know if it actually is going to impact the outcome of the game because Legion Angel. So we can kill the Luminarch Aspirant. If we draw a land here and get down the Gray Merchant, maybe it would keep us out of being literally dead. Oh no. Okay, Bloodchief's Thirst, no, all right, so we're gonna die no matter what. The punt ended up not actually mattering. Yeah, Arcana of Emeria makes non-basics come into play. Tapped. Who would have thought? Yarion and Tag. What, I think they're playing Legacy? Opponent thinks they're playing some Legacy over there. I don't know what we want exactly against this deck. Bitter Triumph's felt really good. I think Bitter Triumph, is good in general, but I think it's pretty good in this deck because we can gain huge bursts of life with the Gray Merchant. So the downside of 3 life usually isn't a big deal. So bring in a bit more removal because it looks like our opponent's actually super creature heavy. And try something like that. All right, well, game 1 they got us good. Game 1, they got us really good. Luminarch Aspirant can still steal a lot of wins. All right, so we are on the play for game number 2. Gonna need another land, but we got the Warlock class, so that should be fine. I like that we have technically 3 removal spells counting the Shieldred, so what happened last game shouldn't happen this game. Do we Thoughtseize or Warlock class? Yeah, let's just Warlock class. I don't know what we need to Thoughtseize on one out of our opponent's hand anyway. Opponent, snow-covered plains. Giant killer. Well, we draw the swamp anyway, so that's a win. Let's play the swamp. Warlock class is more mana efficient, but do we want to... Yeah. Do we need to Thoughtseize? Yeah, if they Luminarch Aspirant, we could get too far. Yeah, let's just Thoughtseize. Flowering of the White Tree, Wedding Announcement, Elite Spellbinder. Opponent, I mean, doesn't have any legends for flowering. I think we just take the Wedding Announcement. Set up for the long game. All right, so opponent runs out the flowering, grows the giant killer. Another Warlock class isn't bad. Warlock class is funny. It's technically like a 3 mana black, Anticipate, which doesn't sound great, but it adds pips to the battlefield. And then once we level it up, it actually becomes pretty good. Let's think about this. So we're gonna need a land, and Castle Lackwine is a land I like, but we have another Warlock class, so we can Thoughtseize to get rid of the Paulo, and then all the Skyclave. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think the Maul matters, because sure, they can play it and hit us for some damage, but we can eventually just kill it. And then re-equipping it is very clunky. Giant killer aggro over there. Down to 10. Yeah, I think we just kill the giant killer. Run out the Warlock class. Eventually this Nykthos is going to be like having a bunch of lands. We have a bunch of black mana symbols. We still wouldn't mind a real... Wow, just grabs a Yarion. Bloodletter of Aclazotz. Okay, yeah, I think we just take up Warlock class. See if we can find a black source. Please? No deal. Well, we'll take the Fatal Push, which might be relevant eventually. Ouch, no lands in our top million. Ugh. That's worse. Yeah, it's like a Squadron Hawk that can actually kill us. Well, there's a Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Are we gonna have to try to slog through these Legion Angels, 1 removal spell at a time? So brutal. Legion Angel. Well, okay, let's put a Swift End to the Legion Angel. We really want to be getting mana symbols on the battlefield for this Nykthos, but if we draw a land and can play Shieldred, that would be the best. Just untap land here. We got to get some mana symbols down in one way or another. So we can like Thoughtseize plus Murderous Rider or Gifted Etherborn. We get Bloodletter, not Thoughtseize, but then we're taking 5, and if they equip, we go to 1. Yeah, let's play Bloodletter. We don't want to lose it, but we might... I don't know if we can get out of this. So they play the Angel or do they equip? I guess equipping is still not lethal. It would hit us to 1, but 1's not dead. I think we're rooting for the equip. That would be the best. I think it would definitely be a punt on our opponent's end. Okay. I mean, that's kind of fine. I mean, it hurts, but there's still just 1 creature, which means if we draw land for Shieldred, we get out from under this Legion Angel. All right, that's a swamp. That's what we needed. Oh, this is the easiest Shieldred ever. Opponent still has 2 more big flyers in hand, and Yarion's gonna get ward. Our Fatal Push is not looking great. Although the big news about this is it does turn on our Nykthos. Nykthos makes mana now. We can also Gifted Etherborn. Ha! Warlock class doing work. Pinya. All right, another March. Pitching a Luminarch Aspirant. I'm not sure why our opponent's so afraid of our random creatures. I think our opponent would be beating us if they just ran out flyers and attacked. But instead, for 2 turns in a row, they've like focused on killing our creatures. I mean, I guess maybe they have a healthy respect for the possibility of a Grey Merchant, but let's run out 2 Lifelinkers. The question is, do we Thoughtseize? I think the answer is no. Opponent. Legion Angel. Ooh, wow. Nykthos is actually a hilariously good draw. Not because the mana helps. I mean, it does kind of. I guess we can level up these Warlock classes. It's a way to trigger Revolt. Legend early away or Nykthos. triggers Revolt so we can kill this angel with a Fatal Push. We need to... Oh, so it's actually huge. This worked out perfectly. So we didn't Thoughtseize, so we could stay at 3, so we could still cast Murderous Rider, but now we turn on the Fatal Push to be able to get rid of the Legion Angel, which means we're going to gain back 4 here. We're actually going to hit our opponent for a bunch. We can Thoughtseize now in the clear because we're going to gain back a bunch of life. Fateful Absence, we don't care. We'll take the Yarion. And I think we're going to stabilize and win this. We actually have a fully leveled up Warlock class. And opponent scoops it up. Scoops it up. What a comeback. What a comeback. That was a good one. That was a really good one. I thought we were dead for sure. I really think our opponent should have just ran out flyers. I mean, it's easy to say what your opponent should do because it's not you and you don't know their hand, so very well could be wrong, but I feel like if I was in the opponent's seat, it would have been better just to pressure us because we're so low on life. Well, this hand is sweet if we hit another black source or two. I mean, sweet in the sense that it's keepable-ish. We're on 6. We can't go. We don't want to go to 5. I mean, we got a couple of removal spells. We really just want a black source to get... Okay, perfect. Well, there's a swamp, so we can get down the Gifted Aetherborn. That also lets us Murderous Rider. Working toward the Bloodletter of Aclazotz. Season Hollowblade, eh? Well, probably not going to be go for the throating that. Yeah, let's run out the Gifted Aetherborn. The Gifted Aetherborn's like kind of sneaky nice. The lifelink is actually pretty relevant, along with the double black mana symbols. So we have 2 cards that we can cast, but they're just removal. Then we have our 2 finishers, but we can't technically cast them yet. Opponent goes with go for the throw. Okay. I mean, this is fine. We can still just Murderous Rider the Apollo if we want to. More Nick Thigh. I think, well, yeah, I think we kill it. We could offer the trade, but with the Nykthoses, kind of actually want the mana symbols and kind of like Gifted Aetherborn attacking every turn to gain 2 life. All right, so black source, please. Cast a Lockwade. That's all we asked for. Just to cast a Lockwade. A swamp would be fine too. Found a wedding announcement. Well, we're never killing that, so. All right, opponent gets in with the Hollowblade. That's fine. Wedding announcement does its thing. Oh, well, Murderous Rider. Did not hit the black source. Next turn, Nykthos actually lets us cast stuff, assuming both of our creatures live. All right, opponent takes it to 16. We go back up to 16. This Gifted Aetherborn has seriously been doing work. The life gain has been really important. Like, that's been really big. Opponent, Snow-Covered Plains, and grabs the Yarion and Giant Killer. Yeah, I guess we don't really have anything worth chopping down. Opponent gonna stay aggro? All right, change of plans. Stay on defense. Wedding announcement makes a token. All right, Nykthos. Wow, we're just short of winning this turn. If we had like a little more mana or a couple more pips, we could Bloodletter into Grey Merchant with double Nykthos, but I guess we just play Bloodletter and then pass? And if we untap, we just combo kill next turn? Yeah, no reason to Legend Roll away the Nykthos. No reason to attack. All right, opponent, show us that removal spell. They need a removal spell for Bloodletter or else... I mean, this is it's really wild how much this drain doubling changes how this deck plays. It might not sound like that big of a deal, but it really is. Like, this is one of those scenarios where Mono Black Devotion a month ago, I don't even know if we'd be favored here. Like, we may or may not be able to win this game, but because of Bloodletter of Aclazotz, we can very easily definitely win this game. So we have double Nykthos. Kind of want to see if we can bait out interaction. I don't know what. Opponent does have mana up. I think we just run out Shieldred, see if that gets a response out of our opponent, and then we can Nykthos with our rest of our mana and Grey Merchant. Nykthos is such a ridiculous land. My god. I mean, technically we're doing this all with 3 lands on the battle. We have 3 lands on the battlefield, and we're going to cast, like, I don't even know, 10 mana of spells and have mana left over. All right, they're going to tap the Gifted Aetherborn. That is something. I mean, that increases my confidence that this is going to work, right? They only have 1 mana up. I guess they could have March and, like, pitch Yarion and another white card, but in theory, this should mean we're just good. This deck's so good. This deck is so good. All right, Shieldred, you must sack a non-token creature. All right, gets rid of the Usher of the Fallen. Well, Nykthos, Legend Roll. Make a little mana. Busterino, Grey Merchant, Devotion 11, Double Trouble, and GG. Well, that was pretty sweet. That was really sweet. And, cool. All right. Sand needs to hit some mana, but it's fine. Let's see what our opponent's up to, Jingotha player. Oh, God. Wizards. Well, let's take the flame. This is actually not the scariest hand, right? They play the Symmetry Sage. We can Blood Chief's Thirst it. So now our opponent should have nothing but a Strangle. And a Belmore, I guess. Ugh. Missing land drops. Well, we really need lands. We need land. If we go like land, maybe a land, then we're good. Then we're super good. That's it. That's all we ask for, Magic Gods. Just 4 or 5 lands in a row, please. No big deal. Well, opponent gets in for one. I mean, thankfully, that is a land. Okay, thank you, Magic Gods. I mean, thankfully, our opponents we double Thoughtseize them. I was going to say running awkwardly, but really the story is we double Thoughtseize their card draw. But all they're doing is putting Jingotha in the hand. Oh, really? 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 Another Flame Andor off the top. Another Symmetries. All the things that we Thoughtseized and killed are coming back. Wow, we were drawing the lands, but we can't even cast our Obliterator. We might just be literally dead here. Expressive Iteration. Well, it wouldn't be a historic video without a Wizard beatdown. That's I think if you go back and watch all their past videos, this happens almost every video. I think almost every video there's some like, oh, I just get stomped by Wizards. The match takes 3 minutes. They run me over on turn 3. Yeah. It's kind of a tradition at this point. Kind of a tradition. For some reason, these Duresses, you don't like going in the main deck from the sideboard. It's like a weird arena bug of some kind. You gotta like manually drag them. You can't just click them, which is strange. All right, Wizards. That is a lot of 3 mana removal. Well, okay, we'll see. I mean, we are in the play. Opponent, Soul Scar Mage. Thoughtseize you. Ugh, that's a very stacked hand. Yikes. I mean, I guess we take the Arcanist, but this is bad in a whole bunch of ways. Symmetry Sage. Rebalanced Symmetry Sage. It's wild how much that 1 toughness and 1 buff to its ability, how much it changes this card. From like stone unplayable everywhere to best card in one of, if not the best deck in the format. There's probably an argument that Wizards is the best deck in the format. If you look at big historic tournaments, every time there's a Pro Tour, it's Wizards. It's Wizards that wins. Well, there's the land. Oh, so such a painful way to do this, but literally in multiple ways, but Murderous Rider. As much as I like Murderous Rider in this deck, 3 mana removal against Wizards is a little sketchy. All right, and we have to lose 2 life too. It's so good in other matchups though. Opponent gets in, hits us. We draw Duress. Well, Duress you to get rid of that Flame of Andor. We could try to Murderous Rider, but they have Slip out the back. We know they have Slip. And they scoop them up. Wizard, the Wizard beatdown. It's a tradition. Mono Black Devotion time. We're playing some Mono Black Bloodletter of Aclazotz Devotion, and this hand's fine. Oh, Mono Green. Mono Green, Boo and Hiss. Well, let's Thoughtseize you. Well, that is a busted hand. Technically, they can't cast anything if we take this Kiora. Oh, this hand's so absurd, though, if they hit a green sword. I mean, the other option is what? Take Old Growth Troll, and then they Kiora. I guess the upside of taking Old Growth Troll is Kiora is killable. We don't have a removal spell in hand, but... all right, just don't hit another forest opponent. How about that? No more forests. Meathook Massacre. I think we actually just run this out X0 to get some pips on the battlefield. All right, did they draw a forest? Yes. Okay, well, odds are we are dead. Gray Merchant. Well, play the land passer. I mean, the problem is they're just going to combo off, right? Make some extra mana. Even more mana. Even more. Yeah. Opponent gets in, has roughly infinite mana, plays another Old Growth Troll. I mean, we're going to play a Swamp and play a Phyrexian Obliterator. The problem is they can play Karn and tutor up some ungodly big thing from the sideboard. That's the real issue. There is this weird... Wait, Is there a world where we just combo kill next turn? Opponent's at 20. Is all this complaining for nothing? All right, opponent's gonna get something from the sideboard. Mightstone and Weakstone. Oh. My possibly unpopular opinion is that Karn should not exist. Should be banned in every format. All right, well, now we're dead. We almost did cool things, but it turns out Karn shouldn't be a magic card. It should not be a magic card. Watsy, watsy, what are they thinking? No one knows. How many magic cards do you think Wizards designs while incredibly drunk? How high is that number? What is the drunk card count? It's gotta be high, right? It's gotta be a big number. Karn's gotta be on there. Karn's gotta be at the top of that list. I imagine them just throwing some big nerdy raver and then being like, yeah, ship it. Yeah, static, whatever. Stony Silence, tutor from your sideboard, that'll be fine. Yeah, do it. Run it, print it. We already put 3 mana Teferi in the set anyway, so I mean, how bad can it be? The game's already broken. It can't get more broken, right? Broke is broke. We'll take the Utopia Sprawl. I mean, our opponent's hand is going to go off once they get the mana. We'll see if they get the mana, how quickly they get the mana, considering if they're going to play their second land. Tough decisions in Opponentville. Decides to play the second land. Well, we will play a Gifted Aetherborn and a Swamp and pass the turn. Do we find land number 3? Yes, there's a Pelucranos. Has not yet rotated. So play a Swamp, get in with a Gifted Aetherborn. If our opponent wants to trade, that's fine with us. All right, opponent takes it, so we will just play a Gifted Aetherborn, kill the Pelucranos. Pang ya past the turn. Opponent, Delighted Halfling. Well, 1, 2, let's take up this Warlock class. See if we can find some action. I think we just take Gary. So do a little milling, go to combat. We don't have the Bloodletter, so this doesn't just straight up win us the game, but it might be enough. Opponent goes to 13 and then takes 7. We might be good here, we'll see. Opponent down to 13, Nykthos, black mana. Gary you. All right, opponent, you need something big. Old Growth Troll is relatively big. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Well, we will play Castle Lockwayne. Make some black mana. Should we just level up? I think we do. I think this is lethal, right? A creature dying is 1, which is actually 2. One of these is going to hit for 2, which is actually 4. So I think that's Xaxes, even if our opponent double blocks. Trade Merchant still getting it done. Opponent blocks. So they drop to 4. They get the Old Growth Troll. That doesn't really matter here. And get some triggers, drain ya, double it, and who's the devotion deck now, opponent? I'm still salty because we were gonna have such a cool kill in game 1. Should we bring in the Duresses? Maybe we want the Duresses. What do we not want is the question. We don't have any exile removal. Shieldred might just be too slow. Let's bring in a Duress. Let's just try it like that. We'll go 1 Duress. Some combination of either Thoughtseize and removal or big mana draw gives us a shot. Mono green just has some unbeatable draws though. If they have the draw where they just Utopia Sprawl into Kiora, it's so hard to beat. Well, I mean, this is as much as we could hope for. We're on the draw, which is disappointing. All right, Delighted Halfling. That's fine. We can kill that. I mean, we're gonna need another land at some point, but this hand can really kill things, and our opponent was on the Mana Dork plan. Well, sort of. Woof, Willowhaven. Well, play the Swamp. Thoughtseize you. Storm the Festival, Old Growth Troll, and Cavalier of Thorns. So all of these are bad for us. I guess Old Growth Troll is currently the least bad. We take the Cavalier, and they're 2 mana short. The problem is, so we take the Cavalier, they get 2 more lands, they Storm the Festival, we lose. We can take the Old Growth Troll, they can't do anything next turn, but Cavalier into Storm the Festival, we lose. If we take the Storm the Festival and then kill the Cavalier, they get back the Storm the Festival, we lose. None of these options are good. I mean, I think we take the Cavalier and hope that they either can't get to the Storm the Festival or we draw another Thoughtseize for the Storm the Festival. Well, opponent runs out the Old Growth Troll. I think we actually have to play a Murderous Rider. We don't want to kill the troll at the moment. What did they find? Land off the top. Passes. Well, we hit a Nykthos. We'll play the Nykthos. Play the Bloodletter of Aclazotz. Hit ya. I mean, this puts our opponent under big pressure. Oh, how high do they roll? Storm the Festival. They don't have mana though, right? Even if they hit Nykthos. And we have Gary for 10. We're really close to winning. Cavalier of Thorns. Kiora draws a bunch of cards. The Cavalier has reach. Does it? Oh, they get to oh, wow. Into a Karn the Great Creator, yeah. For a Chroma's Memorial. They can't cast it now, though. Timeless Witness. We need black pips. We need black pips. I don't know how we get those pips. Opponent goes attacking. No blocks. We draw a Swamp. So we play the Swamp. Are we like 2 points of damage away from winning? So Gary is, no. Oh, Gary, 14. Oh, we're good. We're good, right? So we can 1-2. Kill the Cavalier. Wow, we have exactly enough. We will pay the 3. Kill the Cavalier. Get rid of that Reacher. Sure, yeah, get it back, get it back, get it back. Get it back, Mono Green, get it back. And then we'll just run out a Gray Merchant for a little 14er and then go attacking at your face. And that's the power of, we would have lost this 100% without Bloodletter. No chance we win the game if we don't have the Bloodletter. Like, that's the power of Bloodletter. Almost makes mono black devotion rather than like a grindy deck into a almost mono green style devotion style combo deck where we have this line. Like, our opponent was what, 16? They were at 16. We got 5 lands and we just directly 16 them through their big Storm the Festival turn, through their Nykthos and the Kiora and the Drunken Karn. All of that didn't matter. No matters at all because we have Bloodletter. The card's so good. Oh, I love that card. I love that card. Opponent's high mythic. Well, I mean, we got the Bloodletter. We're gonna need the Gary eventually. Oh, control. All right, this might be a grind. Well, we'll see. I don't know if we're favored against control or not. I do know that I like Thoughtseize, and we are going to cast it. I like that we have Castle Lockway, and that's also good. All right, so definitely control. Cycles a Callum. Ooh, opponent has no land. Do we just take Fragment? I think we take Fragment. So we can take Fragment to protect our Phyrexian Arena. Although, if they draw land, they can Snapcaster it. We can take the Teferi, because that's the best late game card. I guess we could take the Memory Deluge. Maybe that's the best. Like, do we even care if they kill our stuff? I think I talked myself into Memory Deluge. So let's take the Memory Deluge. What this does is sets us up in a position where, well, we're gonna play Phyrexian Arena. I assume our opponent's gonna Fragment Reality it. I guess they could also pitch stuff to the March. Arena will give us a Gifted Aetherborn if they Fragment it. So we get rid of the Memory Deluge. What are we doing, opponent? All right, so they Fragment Reality, that's fine. We get a Gifted Aetherborn. We have an answer to the Teferi. Yeah, let's play the land. Let's go to combat attack, see what our opponent does. Do we just run out the Bloodletter? Maybe we should just run out the Bloodletter pre-combat. I kind of want our opponent to tap down. They're not drawing lands, which means they're probably drawing interaction. Takes their beats. Yeah, let's just play Obliterator. Opponent's kind of in sorry shape, missing these land drops. All right, they hit a land, but it's tapped. They'd have to pitch 2 cards to March of Otherworldly Light the Obliterator. I mean, if they do that, that's still a win. Ooh, and the Thoughtseize. Let's attack first. Let's go to combat attack. I think the plan is attack for 7. I know we're playing this Bloodletter super conservatively, but I think we can afford to. See if our opponent has to pitch a bunch of cards to this March of Otherworldly Light. Down to 11. So we will Thoughtseize you. And then we can Warlock class draw with Warlock class. If we find Nykthos. Wow, opponent pitches the hand in desperation. Sure. We will Thoughtseize away the Archmage's Charm. I don't think our opponent's gonna have time to really effectively Memory Deluge. Warlock class, take it up. Well, we'll take the Nykthos. A little bit less powerful without the Obliterator, but still, play the Nykthos, pass the turn. Well, we know the coast is clear-ish. Our opponent can Snapcaster or Fragment Reality, but that's not much. All right, there's the Snapcaster. I assume they're fragmenting. Maybe they just fragment the Gifted Aetherborn? All right, sure. Well, that means our opponent's out of interaction, though, and we get to play a Bloodletter and kill the Snapcaster. Hit you for 2 with the Warlock class, and this Gary is ready to come down and end this game. Bloodletter is actually, like, very strong. Land? Nykthos? Mana? Counterspell check? All right, opponent did draw a counter, so they're not just dead. We hit them down to 5. I mean, opponent has multiple issues to deal with here. I mean, they are a control deck. They're gonna hit their lands and stabilize eventually. I'm not sure we win the late game against this deck. So we would actually like to close it out before they start drawing lands. Opponents run pretty clunky here. Wow, scoops it up. They're playing control. I'm not gonna complain, but we definitely benefited from our opponent being stuck on mana. Okay, so against control, we want things that can kill planeswalkers at instant speed. Liliana Sorin good. Thought Distortion is our dream. Fatal Push seems not worth it. I don't think we're actually gonna die to a Snapcaster. I guess in theory it could happen, but in practice, not actually likely. And then Obliterator is not great against control, really. Yeah, let's just run it like that. Can we get him with the Thought Distortion? I guess these new control decks have Reprieve now, which can technically stop a Thought Distortion for a turn, but Thought Distortion is just like, not much feels better. Well, okay, there's several things that feel better, like Mana Tithing someone or Blood Mooning someone, but getting someone with Thought Distortion, the control player, does feel pretty good. Well, all right, this hand is weird, but we're gonna keep it. Lots of Warlock classes. Our one removal spell is Sorcery Speed, but in theory, the Warlock classes can find us some goodies. Opponent keeps looking at it. Duress our opponent. All right, they Fragment Reality. Archmage's Charm. Play a second Warlock class. We really do need to hit another land. There's a world where we don't hit another land and this goes poorly. All right, so we draw a swamp. So they have the Archmage's Charm. You know what, we're gonna play Arena. We're gonna make them counter it. The opponent still only has 3 lands. They have to counter this. Oh, that's awkward. All right, Spell Pierce, really good top deck. We were hoping to get the Archmage's Charm out of our opponent's hand, but no such luck. Take up the Warlock class. Opponent's gonna Snapcaster Fragment Reality. I think this is kind of okay-ish though, because now we can Duress the Archmage's Charm, and our opponent essentially has nothing. Kessler Veil gets and hits us. Well, we're almost certainly playing Phyrexian Arena. Opponent is going to make a 1/1. We'll play the land. You know what? We're going to kill this Snapcaster. All right, no Teferi, no whammy. Just draw something useless. Opponent, get lost off the top. All right, that's unfortunate. Well, we'll play a Gifted Aetherborn. We will crack a map. Draw Nykthos. Play the land. Crack the map. Mill the Gifted Aetherborn. Yeah, I don't think we want to Thoughtseize. Like, if our opponent wants to Wrath here, I think I'm okay with that. Save the Thoughtseize for when we actually have something that we want to resolve. Opponent passes. Are we worried about the Wandering Emperor? Yeah, let's Thoughtseize. All right, Archmage's Charm. Draw 2. Take the Supreme Verdict. Well, I mean, draw with Castle Lockwain. And pass the turn. Opponent cycles. I'm glad we have this Castle Lockwain. Opponent, untap land. Untap land, pass. Well, play a swamp. Opponent gonna block. Do we run out the Bloodletter or do we just Castle Lockwain? Yeah, I mean, I think we play it. Post-combat probably looks weird, but we were hoping our opponent would, like, interact during our combat. Alright, Castle Ardenvale. I mean, opponent does need a Wrath or something, right? Teferi, Wrath. This Hall of the Storm Giants is not going to win the race. Let's make some black mana. Draw with Castle Lockway. Just a swamp. Well, Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Go to combat. Attack. Alright, March of Otherworldly Light. Sure. And blocks. Ottawa. Passes. We're drawing too many Nick Thigh. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I think we just fire up the Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Play the swamp. Go to combat. Attack. And let's eat the March. Snapcaster March can get the Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Opponent. I mean, as long as our opponent continues to not draw anything. In fairness, we haven't really drawn anything either. We've just been drawing Nykthoses into more Nykthoses. Second Hall of the Storm Giants. We draw another swamp. Well, play the land. Fire up the Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Get lost. Are we token blocking? Token blocking. I mean, we go up to 25. Opponent goes to 9. We have the mana to Castle Lockway in this turn, which is nice. Sooner or later, we're going to draw some action. So it's been kind of a weird game. Both players are kind of flooding out. Well, Castle Lockway, draw a card. I feel like our castle is the better of the... Ooh, Gary. And another Castle Lockway. Play a second Castle Lockway. Let's play the Great Merchant. Not the best Great Merchant, but still. It is 4, and it's some pips. 1, 2... I mean, I guess we just Hive of the Eye Tyrant, right? Yeah, I mean, it's been working so far. Fire it up. Go attacking. Supreme Verdict. Well, this Hive has kind of like cleaned all the removal out of the graveyard. Opponent token. Wow, opponent is just really drawing nothing this game. All right, opponent's at 2. It is not looking good for our opponent. Wow, taking down the top 500 control player. Oh, Bloodletter. So good. So good. Well, sweet. So what did we learn this week about Mono Black Devotion with Bloodletter of Aclazotz in Historic? And the deck is not just super sweet, but also like really good. So we're playing at Mythic right now in Arena, like Mythic 95, 96. So like not top 1000 Mythic, but fairly high Mythic. And with this deck, I've played 14 matches. I'm 11-3 so far. So with 79% match win percentage. So we're just kind of stomping people with this deck. And the deck feels really good. And we got to see it during our games. There are many games with this deck where Bloodletter of Aclazotz really changes the equation. Several games where we would not have won the game or the match if we didn't have Bloodletter. But the ability to, out of the blue, dump a Bloodletter into a Grey Merchant and just like drain for 15 or 20, usually killing our opponent on the spot, allows us to steal wins out of nowhere. And I really love that aspect of the deck. Like I said before in the intro, like in the past, Mono Black Devotion, it's kind of like this grindy mid-range deck where it's really powerful, but it's not like Mono Green Devotion where you're like, do your Nykthos stuff and you have this huge turn and just win the game, nothing you can do about it. It doesn't really feel like that. It doesn't have that big game-ending combo turn. Now, though, we do kind of have that. And we have that for adding a really good 4-drop that adds a bunch of black mana symbols. This is a powerful flyer to our deck. We don't have this high cost of having to play a lot of janky cards or anything like that. It's just like, play Bloodletter, and now our Grey Merchant hit for a minimum of 10 and often just straight up kill our opponent on the spot. So I think Mono Black Devotion, it might actually be a real contender now, thanks to the power of Bloodletter of Aclazotz and Grey Merchant of Asphodel. You get all the really good removal, you get Thoughtseize, the best interaction, you back it up by some pretty decent creatures, and now this really sweet combo kill. So if you're looking for something different to play in Historic, definitely would recommend this deck. It is so fun, Bloodletter is so good, plus who doesn't love getting people with Grey Merchant? So that's Bloodletter Black Devotion. That's been our deck for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Looking for even more magic? Well, make sure to check out the Against the Odds, where we won the game by playing a single elephant, or maybe the video about the most hated card from every year Magic the Gathering.